Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is Travis, and it is a banner day today because I busted out 3 rare wild cards so I can have 4 copies of Hidetsugo and Carry. And we have put together a completely ridiculous deck that should have no chance in the world of winning. But you know, we're going to try it anyway. Start with getting an island. This deck is called I Had a Brainstorm, because there's a card called Brainstorm that does something similar in terms of putting cards from your hand back on the top of your library, and it was banned. Let's see if they counterspell this. They do. I love that. Alright. Let's see you counterspell it again when you're tapped out. I'm just going to take the land. Lets me make my land drop. Perfect. Now, if they don't make land, they are doing something. I'm going to counterspell that. I don't need them to mill out my deck. I mean, it might help me, but instead, let's do this. Hidetsugo and Carry! Let's see, we're going to get rid of this one. No, wait, sorry. That one and this one. Yes. And I guess technically we should do this one because if it's an instant or sorcery when they kill me, I can cause them damage and we can cast it without paying for it. I'm not sure I like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cast another one. We're going to keep this one. The first one goes to the graveyard. When the first one goes to the graveyard, they lose 15 points. Yes. Yes. Oh, that was sweet. Okay, these two go to the top of the deck now. That one goes to the top again. And I'm kind of... No, I can still do a make disappear if I need to. Okay, they're sort of in trouble because they need to kill Hidetsugo or I'm gonna get them. Let's see. You can't get past that, right? So I just swing over and hit you now. Yeah? And game 1 is done. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. Should this really work? The converted mana value of Shadow Immortality is 15. And you know what? We managed to kill our own creature and do 15 points of damage to them. So life is good. Did I mention it's a banner day? This is Travis. You're at Tpull's Corner. If you're new, like and subscribe because I don't care where you're from. That stuff was good right there. This is a fun deck. Don't take this into ranked. I don't think it's consistent. It is a crazy experiment. Let me show you. Okay, I had a Brainstorm. The original Brainstorm card is really cheap. It's blue spell. You can draw cards. You can put 1 or 2 back on the top of your deck. A lot of people used it to like reset the land and put like land that you could sacrifice. And if they didn't like the look at the top of the deck, they just reshuffle, or they could do other tricks with it. And it proved to be a very useful spell. And so I found it really eye-popping when they included this. Hidetsugo and Carry, enter the battlefield. You draw 3 cards. Put 2 cards from the top of your hand, on top of your library in any order. Any order you want. Are they crazy? Then when it dies, you exile the top card of the library. The target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or sorcery card, in addition, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. So what most people have done so far with this card is they take where is it? Breach the Multiverse, and they put 4 copies of Breach the Multiverse. They put that on top, they kill it, they cast Breach the Multiverse for free after dealing 7 points of damage to their opponent. I only have one copy of Breach the Multiverse. For the newer players, I was under a self-imposed moratorium for the first 2 years of posting content on YouTube that I would not burn a wild card at all. Just to show that you can be a free-to-play account, you can build your collection without having to spend any money and without having to go through all of your wild cards. So the third year, I broke the rule a little bit, and I'm just when I get tired of waiting for the cards that I really, really would like, that I want to play with. So like I only had one copy of Hitotsugo and Carry, and I wasn't getting any more. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm done waiting. But I had a different idea because I've already seen this combination with Breach the Multiverse. So I was thinking, what else can we do? And maybe if I don't get hung up on the instant and sorcery part, I mean, I still have one there, and I have one other way I can do it, Explosive Singularity, because that costs 10. So if we have Hitotsugo and Carry on the battleground and they die, and this is the top card on the deck, not only do they take 10 points of damage from the mana value itself, but then I get to cast it for free for another 10 points of damage. So if they didn't do any lifelink, they're dead from one card. It's a one-turn kill. In the meantime, what I did with the rest of it was I got a whole bunch of creatures, and the creatures and artifacts and stuff, they all have just massive mana value in the black and white colors. So let's go through it. I've got 4 copies of our legendary Ogre Demon Dragon. I've got a Corrupted Conviction, so I could sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. So if they're not going to kill it, I will. I've got 3 Make Disappears, and again, for the benefit of the newer players, the older players have heard me gripe about Make Disappear because it always works well against me, but I almost never have been able to make good on it. If I put 4 copies of this in a deck, 2 to 3 of them are going to end up in my hand. They're going to be worthless. The opponent just effortlessly plays around them, that kind of thing. It's been terrible. But it has casualty. So if I've got Hitotsugo and Carry on the battlefield and I want to do a counterspell and they're not killing my creature, I can kill it by sacrificing it as part of the casualty cost in an attempted counterspell. Doesn't necessarily matter if the counterspell works or not, if they can pay for it or not. As long as I kill this creature and manage to take that, whatever that top card is, and do a bunch of damage to him. I've got 1 copy of Moment of Truth. I can look at the top 3 cards of my library and kind of rearrange those however I want in case Hitotsugo and Carry is still alive on the battlefield and I don't like the way the board looks, like I'm afraid they might kill me and there's a land on top. Okay, it's instant time. We're going to change that. Not a whole lot of removal. There's 1 Go for the Throat right there. 1 Siphon Insight that I'm really looking to just get land for the most part from my opponent in case I miss a land drop. Rooftop Nuisance is another sorcery or another blue card. Make Disappear as an instant. But this also has casualty, so I could tap a creature. If I don't want to just tap a creature and replace this card, I could sacrifice Hitotsugo and Carry to this one as well and do the damage that I want to do. We also have another option with Gravelighter, if we can have him enter. If it's appropriate, I'll just sacrifice Gravelighter and have them get rid of a creature as well. However, if my conditions are met, Hitotsugo and Carry are still on the battlefield, and I like the card that's on the top, I'm going to sacrifice it when I put Gravelighter down. I've got 1 board wipe with Path of Peril, and I could do the Cleave Cost and destroy all if I have Honored Heirloom out, which I also use as my graveyard hate to exile target cards from their graveyard. We've got another Hitotsugo, back from Kamigawa, Hitotsugo Devouring Chaos. This one you could sacrifice a creature to scry, so there's another possible way that I can rearrange the cards on top of my deck if I need to at an instant's notice. I can also, for 2 and a red, I could exile the top card of my library, play it that turn, and regardless, when I exile a card that way, Hitotsugo deals damage equal to the card's mana value as well. I made a deck centered around this card a while back, and it was fun. And it's kind of similar in terms of the effect that you can do from the top of the deck. And so it gives me a 5th option to still do kind of the same thing. But I thought it was cool to have 2 different versions of Hitotsugo in there, still have it be kind of the same threat in a way. In the sacrifice a creature to scry, maybe if it's out on the field at the same time, it might actually help me get the combo off. I've got 1 copy of Monstrous Warleech. You can kick it with an additional blue mana. If it was kicked, you mill 4 cards. The power and toughness are equal to the highest mana value among cards in your graveyard, so I don't mind if some of my high value creatures get thrown in the graveyard. The other removal card I have is Bleed Dry. Do -13/-13 to a creature that exiles it. And one Might Stone, a Weak Stone, which I usually use to do a -5/-5 to a creature. Not a whole lot of interaction in terms of removals, so we could die pretty quickly. In terms of the creatures, we've got 2 Phyrexian Flesh Gorgers. We bring them down for 3, but if they're fished off the top of the deck, they're going by the top right converted mana value. The full mana cost is going to be 7 in terms of dealing damage with something like a Hitagetsu, or Hitotsuko. Okay, I've got Writhing Necromass, costs 7. It costs less for each creature card in your graveyard, and it's got Death Touch. 3 copies of Duskmangler. You have to sacrifice a creature or discard a card or pay for life as an option. You get one of those 3 as the additional cost just to cast this spell. So, again, if it makes sense, we use this to sacrifice this card. So, like, if we've got enough to get down Hitotsuko and carry, we should be close to being able to cast this. We bring this down. If we got something like this on top of the deck, we use the sacrifice and sacrifice our Ogre Demon Dragon as the cost to bring down the Duskmangler. Really big explosive impact on them. I finally have a Toxriel. I'm playing with a Toxriel. Woohoo! Mythic Rare Monster. Cost 7. I have 3 Lord Xanders. They're going in the pot. I have, actually I have 4 copies of One with the Multiverse, but only 1 in this particular deck. This card, when I get it out on the field, it is awesome with this deck. That's all I can say. 1 copy of Molten Monstrosity, costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. If I get virtually any one of these creatures down, this is going to go from costing 8 to costing me 3, 2, or 1 mana, and that's it. And this is kind of why I include just 1 copy of these things, because some of them will come up during one game and some will come up during another game. I don't need 4 copies of it, but there's different kind of advantages you get from this card versus this card, and I recognize that this deck has the ability to give me advantage from either one of these. So I want to showcase each one as much as I can. Hulking Metamorph is awesome. We're usually bringing it down for the prototype cost, only 4. But if it's on the top of our deck, it'll do 9 damage if we sacrifice it with Hitotsuko and carry. We have just 1 Portal to Phyrexia in here. I had to cut things out. And 3 Shadows of Mortality, which cost a whopping 15, which you saw us use to help kill the opponent on the first match, which is that was like my perfect match already. It's all going to go to pieces from here on out, I tell you. But the way this card works, if your life total is less than your starting life total, it costs X less to cast, where X is the difference. So if they do 13 points of damage to me, this only costs 2 black mana to put out. So let's look at the overall. We got 24 creatures. I started with a 7.5 mana cost average. I got it down to 6. Okay, I decided not to go too crazy. And I've got 30 lands because we went up to 70 cards. So we shouldn't have too many land problems. The problem we'll have is we have to draw 7, 8, 9 lands to get anything done, and it's kind of hard to survive until then a lot of times. But that's the idea. As always, we ask you to like and subscribe as we go in and continue with the fun play. I did not think I would win with this as often as I did. As I said, I started with a 7.5 mana cost average. It was completely unworkable. I decided to go to a slightly more reasonable 6. And of course, some of the cards we have make it a lot easier than 6. But I felt I needed 4 copies because this is the key, this is the linchpin, and I really kind of need it to be as close to in my opening hand or, appearing soon. I usually do like one of the counter spells this early too, but they gave me all the most expensive stuff out of everything first. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. We're playing against blue. You got to give them extra time to decide which land to put down and that kind of thing. We have blue too, but I don't know, I'm used to moving fast. It doesn't affect me quite as much. The opponent has blue. You got to settle in for a wait. We'll just play with the pet. There we go. We finally get to do something. Woo! And we wait for our opponent to realize what's going on. There we go. They're probably distracted by their phone or something. What do we do with this? This is a sorcery. I don't feel like we do anything yet. I'm okay getting pinged a couple of times when I want to. There you go. Took you a long time to figure out that you could place another land. They're doing it. They're doing stuff. They're doing stuff. It's happening. We're going to actually get to play a game here. Ooh, you get rid of borrowed time. That means they have an extra borrowed time, doesn't it? That's bad news for Hitotsugo and Carry. That means they're probably going to get exiled. Yeah, exile is pretty tough against this deck. Blue! Okay, we now have one make disappear. Try to save it for use against something like a Planeswalker, maybe? Again, it's still my turn. We're waiting because they have open mana. They're going to decide if they want to do something. They decide to just draw and do their turn. They're not missing a land drop either. I have 30 lands. What's your excuse? I think we go ahead and do this now. I can't sit here and take too much damage. Okay, I wish I had a better way to get around this, but they might have another exile card. What do we want to do to these people? I guess put those two on. That's fine. We've got another land which puts us up to 6. They're going to attack. Sweet. I'm going to block. They're going to kill me. That's going to do 7 damage to them. I like those potatoes. Alright. Let's go ahead and tap you for a turn. And let's bring down the Flesh Gorger. That gives me a way to get some health back. Oh, they're going to pay that. Alright. I finally get to play a Toxrill. Feels good. You get to play a land. Ha! Technically, I just need one untapped land and I'll be sitting pretty after this. They are going to attack. Okay. One of them dies. I think it's time to bring down a blocker. We'll sacrifice the 1/1 slug. Slug didn't last long. 2 of yours down. Resolve. Plus I can still do this. Let's see. I want the land. This can go in the graveyard. That can go back in the library somewhere. Place the land down. I still have a make disappear. Do I bother attacking? Eh. There's a lot of spells where once you're tapped, they can destroy you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not going to work. Second time in a row we win. Hidetsugu and Carry starts us off, and that gives us enough time to get 7, 8, 9 lands to finish with everything else in our deck. Things that'll destroy us. Discard with somebody who understands what our deck is about and knows what to make us discard will be really tough on us. Somebody's really good with counter spells would be tough on us. You can always get swarmed to death by the 1/1s. The amount of red aggro, that type of thing. So I'm not sure if we're especially vulnerable to a lot of specialty things, you know, because a lot of you know, almost any deck can be vulnerable to those things in particular. But exile in terms of removal for Hidetsugu and Carry in particular. Okay, I want to get this up and running as soon as possible, so that's going to be tapped no matter what, first or second. So we make it tap now, so we get 2 untapped on our second turn. Wait and see if these are the fast ones. It looks like the fast ones. 5 or greater, perhaps. Okay, we put down that puppy. We keep our powder dry for the counter spell. If they don't do anything, maybe we do Siphon Insight instead. That's it. Let's see what we got. Land. I'm going to put my land down. Puts me at 6 cards in my hand. I can use Siphon Insight later. I can use the mountain whenever I need to put down a land drop. Decadent Dragon? No, thank you. Bad dragon, go away. Place the land. Hold the counter spell. I'm making good with Make Disappear. It works with this deck. I've almost never been able to make it work well in any other situation. Notice I did miss a land drop. My opponent did not. Okay, so now what do I do? I'm going to pass. If they do 5 or more, that gets some counters. And it doesn't matter if it's countered or not. Just casting it gives them the extra counter. So they may be tempted to do a 5 or 6 mana spell, which I would be able to break. So they're going to make it a 5/6, and they get card draw from it. So we'll counter that spell, but this will be twice as powerful. In the meantime, they're tapped out, right? So let's see what we can get from them. An Archive Dragon, we can't really afford that yet. I guess. I can afford it at least. Down to 10. We are half dead. Missed a land drop. Let's go ahead. This may hurt us more, but we're gonna try this. We're gonna try a 7/7 and see what happens. Stasis field. Okay. No, come on through. That's fine. Okay. I knew I should have done it this way. -5, -5. Just get rid of it. Ouch. And that's game. Yeah, if I'd not tried to get fancy with Shadow of Mortality, I would have had one extra turn in there to maybe do something. So that was my fault. That was my misplay. We still might have lost, but you'd think I would have learned by now to go for removal instead of sticking something in the way. It's just too good odds that between blue and red, they've either got some way to remove it, or blue's got some way to either bounce or paralyze it. Are we going to get to go first? Evidently not. Let's go ahead and do... Yeah, let's go ahead and go get this. We've got the 2 blue. We need another swamp. They do nothing, we do nothing. We're still focused on the counter spell. Look at this if they get past us with a creature. They're content to just play the land and go. Kill it instantly. They lost 7 points from Duskmangler. Okay, so what do we do? I guess we go ahead and just put a couple of these on top. So we're going to do the same thing with Hitotsugo and Carry. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's going to come in tapped, though. Shoot. Okay, we can decline, and we don't even have to discard a card. So that's nice. Oh, what the heck? Let's try it again. This is 9 points in case they kill it instantly again. Yes! Portal to Phyrexia goes, that's 9 points. Let's see, this goes back, and this goes back on top. It's now 19-4. We decline, we don't have to get rid of anything. Wish I had one more land, but what do I care anymore? I've got this and this. I mean, I'm so happy. I've never been so happy with somebody who instantly kills my stuff. When can you celebrate this much the slaying of your legendary creatures? And they killed it, rejoice! Oh, let's see. I guess they can pay for that. They seem anxious to keep attacking me, which is good for me. I need them to attack with these zombies so that I can make them sacrifice something else. That's fine. It's like they know I have a make disappear. Oh good, they did that. Sweet. Get rid of this one. And since this sacrifices itself as well, I don't have to worry next turn about sacrificing another creature or discarding anything. The first 2 chapters of this I'm basically getting away scot-free on. In the meantime, Shadow Immortality is getting ever cheaper. Let's do Xander. Discard half your cards. You lose 2. Okay, it dies. Now you sacrifice half your non-land permanents as well. I guess I'll just sacrifice that. You still have to lose a card and a creature. So that's 3 removal spells, right? 4. That's a lot of removal up top. They got a hard choice between what's left. Extinguish the Light, which was yet another removal card. Is this just removal tribal? That's 5 removal cards. Ah, land. Excellent. I need another red source, right? We're at a point where we don't really care what they do to us next. Here, have another Lord Xander. You gotta discard another card. And if they kill it, they lose one of these. Well, they probably just do an instant and lose another 2/2 zombie, right? Did you finally run out of removal cards? No way. They ran out. Oh, that's an instant. Why wouldn't they just kill Xander? All it would cost them is another 2/2 decayed zombie, right? There they go. They had another one waiting anyway. That's like 6 removal spells. It's like 75% of their spells are just things to kill my creatures. Okay. Well, I guess we're doing this then. If they kill that, they kill themselves. Demon, nobody cares. Can do 6 points of damage, that's fine. We'll make the trade now. Get some life back. And let's see. We can put down you. And we can put down you. Which also copies you. Three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No blocks. We're going to tap these two and do 10 points of damage. There were a couple of different ways I could have done that, I think. I'm having way too much fun with this deck. Why did I wait to burn 3 rare wild cards for so long? I waited so long. It's because there's so many other cards that I want to make decks with. I had plenty of... I had my hands full. I was busy. But aside from Mind Splice Apparatus, this is Hitotsugu and Carry is probably my other favorite card out of all the latest expansions. Okay, we've won 3 of 4, so... Oh, we got to go first, too! Oh, yeah, because I get to go first 25% of the time, so... By the 4th game, they usually have to let me go first finally. Let's see. That's going to be tapped anyway this time, right? Let's see if they give me another land before I go reshuffling. Samurai deck, probably? Oh, good. Yeah, we'll do it again. Because we got 2 Shadows of Mortality, right? So I can already cast them if they get me down too low too fast. Oh, that's going to hurt. I'm going to get my life down a little bit faster than I anticipated. Ouch! Okay, I've got the 2 blue, I've got the 2 black. I guess technically I get the mountain gnat right now. I just need 2 of each color, and then after that the colors don't matter. Oh no. On curve, legendary creature. Ouch. We're gonna hurt so bad. Ouch. And we missed land drops. No matter what now. I only had the 2. Yeah, we won too many times. They were teasing me. They gave me 2 of my favorite creature and made sure that I didn't get the land for it. I missed land drops and my opponent didn't. And I've got 30 lands. That's all it needs. I'm dead. Didn't even need to hit my creature that time.